Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's SeKo Starcraft, back fresh off of Christmas. We are going through the Teamstory Cup. This is the finals, Team Innovation against Team Axiom. Innovation versus Impact. And I'll get into my story about Christmas here right away, but people should know that Impact was killing it in this tournament. He all-killed Team Liquid, so no slouch going up here against Innovation. Took down even people like TvZ. So yeah, Innovation's got his work cut out from him in this game. But it is the finals. Whoever wins this, I think however long these series are, I believe they're best of 9s, would go on to win the actual overall tournament. So Christmas. Hope everybody had a great Christmas. I got some great tech. The microphone might sound a bit different because I got a compression microphone, something that gets a little bit more room capture as opposed to just me. So it might sound a little bit more distant than usual, but that's just because this way I'm a little bit more free to move around and so forth as I am talking and casting. I got a webcam as well, a really slick one, 1080p. So I should be doing a little bit of my strategy talk stuff with a little bit of Shawnee in the shot as well. So tune in for that. Should have some of those videos coming up in the new year, if not beforehand. We see an actual scouting pattern here from Impact. Such an easy cheese map, and generally the cheese happens right here when it does occur. So there's nothing happening funky from either of these players just yet. It looks as though Innovation wants to go for a high ground command center. Doesn't surprise me too much at this point, and Impact is going to expand just fine. I hope everybody else had a great Christmas. It's a little early in the day. I was going to have some Christmas cheer, but instead of having some Christmas coffee, low ground CC. Well, at least there's an SCV down here to try to help. This is a bit annoying because obviously you can still run around and poke at these guys a little bit. And it looks like what Impact wants to do. Even another SCV has to kind of be down here to help with this. Doing a bit of repairing, so I mean it'll get up in the grand scheme of things, but just costing a bit of mining time. And that's generally why I'm a huge fan of early scouts from Zerg players and Protoss players, just to be a bit of a dick. And low ground command center is a little bit of the risque side of things. If you are getting cheese, like a 9 pool even, there's no way that you're going to be able to hold this. You might be able to finish it in time and lift it up. But then all you're doing is hopefully walling off and containing from there. Yes. Still being a little bit of a jerk down here, doing what he can. I don't know if he's going to be able to get it. He's a little bit close. Only needs another 4 shots here. Got 1, 2, 3. Oh, he's going to... Oh, he got splattered. Got a little greedy there from Impact. Really wanted to pull that off. But what can you do? Gas is already on the way. He's not that far off 100 gas, so we get a speed started here really quick if he wants it. Don't know if it's really necessary. I don't expect there to be any type of Reaper play or anything that really demands this fast speed. But it is nice to get out because generally you're going to go into Hellion pressure regardless of what's coming at you. Or you can go for a really nice life-esque kind of bust with speed. Just stop droning out and build nothing but lings, and then just go for total dominance of this. He sees everything that's going on. You can see him selecting his overlord. Sees there's a bunker at the front. That's going to defend. Sometimes he can build up, 20 lings or so with speed, capture the watchtowers to make sure those don't get taken, and then just go in and bust the hell out of your opponent. Doesn't look like that's what Impact wants to do, is satisfied to go into a later game kind of play. And this tournament probably was a big confidence boost for him in the successes he had against Terran players. That he can go for what is essentially a very greedy opening Terran build and just go toe-to-toe. We'll see if a third command center will be coming out after the Hellions make their appearance. Which I would like. I mean, TvZ doesn't really know what's going on the map right now, but if he had some inclination, I think it would be smart for him to maybe go in there and get himself another command center, get himself that huge macro lead that Terrans can really do. There's no third base yet from our Zerg player, and I don't think it's even, I was about to say, necessary to get out any faster than he is. 6-minute mark is a pretty good timing for that, if you know your opponent is also macroing up really huge. But you can see it's just the stand. Is that a full wall off? Must be. Looked like it wasn't tight. Standard 2 marine opening, so that's why you're very vulnerable in this stage of the game as a Terran before these Hellions get out to some sort of bust. I played a game very recently against a Zerg player who tried to punish me for that, but I instead went for mass Hellions before I expanded, and he essentially went for a Baneling bust that just got torched. I liked it. It was fun. 2 Hellions are going to get much done. They should be able to see the timing of this third hatch. That's really their purpose in life until more Hellions come out. Sees it, sees the timing, about halfway done. So nothing out of the ordinary right now. And there go the other Hellions to meet up. See if this Overlord comes in here soon. That third command center is almost finished up, just as I predicted it would be coming out around the time of those Hellions. The great thing about this build that TvZ does, and I really like playing it the same way, is you only really need to get one gas as the Terran player to support all of this. You can see the second one's just going down now. Lots and lots of SCVs out. And I encourage people to get used to trying that as well. It's very liberating to just go for something that's very macro. This is very safe, very macro oriented. And if you can take this and survive into the mid game, you generally have a huge, huge lead. Excuse me. Hellions haven't really gotten a ton accomplished yet. They might have been able to come down here and slice into this. This map's pretty easy to come in with your Hellions, slice in here, grab a few kills, and back out. Ooh, looks like you got a pretty good hit on some of these Hellions. Overlord's in good positions just to see where those Hellions are coming in. But you can always sneak in from the north here, grab a few drones, and back out. We'll see if Innovation wants to do something like that. Another really big hit there on impact. Lost a lot of Zerglings early on here. And now, you see Innovation smartly realizes he can come in and do this pressure. He killed enough of the Zerglings to feel pretty safe. If you come on to creep and he didn't kill those Zerglings, the surround may happen. And then it becomes a big issue with when you can actually go and take the map again if you lose those Hellions. Kind of cute blocking the third base here. I actually really like this from Innovation. It seems really risky to get this command center down now, but he's pretty confident that there's no real way for the Zerg player to punish him. Huge droning up. Spire's just started. He doesn't know the Spire's just started, but that's just the likely timing you're going to see at the pro level. So there's nothing that's going to stop him when he has these Hellions out on the map from being able to exploit this and that additional base. Maybe see some supply depots in the bunker down here just to protect against Zergling run-bys. Alright, Medevac's on the way. We'll see if he gets into any kind of drop action here. I like getting out one Viking earlier on. You see these Overlords are going to give a lot of notice to any type of drops that happen. So I'm usually a really big fan of sending out one Viking just to patrol, take care of those, and make sure nothing sneaky is spotted. Because you can get a huge lead as a Terran player. One drop full of Stim Marines, and you can clear an entire mineral line if you can catch it off guard. Plenty more Zerglings out now. They do have their 1-1 finished. How's the Terran doing with upgrades? 1-1 is also finished. 2-2 is started ahead of his opponent, but just slightly. But those upgrade battles in this kind of Marine versus Zergling kind of battle, very important to have those upgrades out. If you get behind in that, you're going to find yourself very quickly in a lot of trouble. Snipes on Overlord, but wasn't able to get a lot of creep. Looks like Impact may wish to defend his creep here. Banelings didn't trade super well, and actually didn't get any of the Hellions. But he did deflect it for now, kept his creep spread going. Understanding the value of him attacking on this route. It's a very quick attack distance between these bases. If you can have creep in the place there to be able to get your Zerglings and Banelings over really quick. I think this is really smart. A lot of players ignore this base so long in a game. Whereas you come down here with a few early Zerglings and take it out, it becomes very difficult to punish. You gotta come and squeeze right around the outside, and sometimes you can get maybe a spore or a spine down on these areas. You can really block this base from being punished. A little bit more creep protection. Banelings are gonna get some pretty good hits. Widowmine did not hit very well. Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't commit a little bit further there, but probably didn't realize just how weak Innovation's army really was at that point. This army's very stemmed up. I actually picked up his Hellions as well. I thought that was really cute. And the mutas are out. Great timing on those mutas. The bunker is finished over here at this base. So smartly the Zerg player is going to fall back and continue to hit his economy swing. 2-2, going to be finishing up here pretty quick for both players. What was this thing? Oh yes. Infantry armor. I couldn't see it behind the name there for a second. I'd give a slight map advantage to Impact. You can see supply-wise and tech-wise, Innovation's toe-to-toe. It just seems like the Zerg player is a little bit more free right now. Actually cost himself a handful of Banelings there. Nice movement by Innovation. Got the entire medevac unloaded. And actually killed off a fair bit of stuff doing so. Gotta be careful when you have units that move faster. They don't get too far out in front. Couldn't bust into the front there. This army's pretty cornered right now. And it decides to just run past. Got a little beat up there, but he will keep his mutalisks alive. That's the important part. This is one of those maps that doesn't really have, you know, big expansions on the walls that you can move air units through super freely. So you gotta be very careful with things like mutas, not to let them get surrounded and pushed out there too easily. Queens look like they're going to go down. Ooh, maybe not. The queens ran the wrong way. It's also... Ooh. Getting in a pretty good amount of damage there. But now the Terran player... There's a bunch of stuff down here. Lots of banelings still morphing as well. I don't think he can really push down. He's going to have to hope for some really important widowmine hits here. Burrow speed is finished on those widowmines. I would have liked him to send in maybe an overlord or something like that to trigger some of the widowmines. Oh, and the mutalisks coming from behind. Really nice play by Impact. He's got to watch out for this though. This is one of his overseers. He's going to have to start morphing more soon. It would have been nice to snipe some medevacs. That medevac count's really getting out of control now. You're starting to see a lot of high-level Terrans. Including myself, that's not a high-level Terran, but I play Terran. Really like getting out the huge medevac counts just to be able to control. You see the nice micro on the widowmines there? Just to make sure they don't fire unnecessarily. That'd be so good to kill. It's too bad. Impact was just a little short. If he could have crushed this army and killed those medevacs, he would have been in a much better position. But as it stands... Innovation's looking great right now. Trying to morph in some overseers here, but they might get sniped off. Loses one. Pretty good baneling hits. The mutas are pretty beat up here though. That's a big problem for him, is they're going to die really quick to this 2-2 bio, about to be 3-3. And you can see on the minimap the train of blue coming across the map here. The Zerg just keeps losing ground and losing ground. Got a bunch of those medevacs though, actually. The medevac count has been stifled, and that's a big problem for innovation. But the widowmines have not been killed yet. Widowmine's doing some friendly fire damage. Alright, so we got ourselves a moment here. Widowmines are going to get picked off finally. So one more here. Is he going to grab it in time? Ooh, just snipes it out there. Doing some scouting with the Overlord just to make sure he's not that far behind. Terran's still on 3 bases to the Zerg 4. So if the Zerg can stabilize here, I think he's going to be alright. We're going to see this drop try to fly around here. Overlords are in position, but the mutas are on the wrong side of the map. Terran's got 1 missile turned at home, so we'll see who can get more damage in. This is the problem as a Terran player. If you give up pressure, you're going to see that your opponents can very, very quickly start using those mutas as a harass unit. Smartly, Innovation is going to put the pressure back on, force the mutas to come home and defend. Nice pickup just before the banelings come in. I'm actually kind of surprised he hasn't dropped just a couple units to trigger the banelings and continue to pressure there. But he is going to have to try to multitask here very well. That one drone needs to go find something to do with its life. Alright, so Innovation's regrouping. Goop being dropped. Widowmines are down now though. Got some pretty good hits. All the Widowmines are dead. But now Impact's going to have to fall back and wait for more banelings to come into the picture. He's got a few in this mix. Let's see if we can get really good connects here. There isn't a huge... Well, there's no Marauders to tank, and there's not very many Widowmines from the looks of it. How many has he got up here? 4, so if he gets good hits, it's a lot to bank on, though. Let's get him a sneaky base. Ooh, now there's a lot of Widowmines down. He's going to have to be very good at microing those. Oh, wow. Those were huge Widowmine hits. An amazing splits by Innovation. He's going to clean up all those mutas, and that was it. That's a bit of a knife edge, though. I think that if Impact managed to kill those Terran units, like those Widowmines got hit by banelings, he got cleaned up, and that army went down, that was probably going to be pretty all-in from him here. These bases are getting very mined out. And he didn't have a third in position yet. So I think that if Impact could have held there, it would have been a different game. But as it is, Innovation gives Team Acer the lead in this series. We're going to go on to game number 2. We'll see who Innovation is up against next.